Well. I didn't want to make this video. I'm lying. I did. I really feel like the space can't go a day without something happening, without something going on, without people just getting mad. Rich coming from me because I'm a drama channel. I should love this shit. But to a certain extent, it's getting really painful to watch, to be honest. And there isn't really someone who's taking the middle ground on things. And unfortunately, when you do, people call you a fence sitter and that you're scared of the backlash or something. But in all honesty, I think it is important to take aside your own personal beliefs and truly try to understand each side at the best of your capability. Now, I'm not good at that. Most likely, I'll fail while doing this video, but at least I tried, okay? Because I feel like this day and age, there hasn't really been a bridge to understand where both sides are coming from. And usually what happens is that causes people to feel forced or pressured to just pick one side over the other. That leads me into today's topic, and it all started when Pokerev dropped his video called "The Pokemon Card Hobby is in Serious Trouble." In this video, Pokerev explains his concerns and discontent with the current state of the Pokemon hobby. I have clipped a couple of his, key moments, but I highly suggest you watching the whole thing if you want the grand scope of everything that was said.
And you guys have probably saw my video where I opened up the new set Prismatic Evolutions a few times. And every time I opened it, I felt worse and worse about opening the product. I just felt so bad sitting there. I felt bad that other people were scrambling to get the product. I felt bad that the resale price on these things is $20 a pack plus. We really should be making our voices heard here and reaching out to Pokemon. I'm sure they're already completely aware of this, but really reaching out and saying, hey, we need more product. We need you guys to open up more printing facilities. We need we need to up our capacities here, because I'm assuming all the printing that they have is at full capacity. I'm assuming they're printing 24/7. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm assuming that. I'm afraid of what's happening now with the TCG. I'm afraid of what's happening with enthusiasts of the game, people that genuinely love Pokemon, whether it's the games or the cards, people that are just enthusiastic about the brand, who love collecting the cards. It feels like it's being taken away from your average Pokemon card enthusiast, collector, player, whatever that may be. And look, I'm not against people getting into the hobby and jumping in and anybody being a part of the hobby. I've said that since day one of starting this channel. The average player is not going to be able to play this game if this continues. You're not going to be able to acquire cards if this continues. You're not going to have the cards to play the game. And we have pre-orders being resold for $250 plus. These are the pre-orders for one booster box, $250, $255, a case of 6 for $1,600.
Now, this overall statement didn't pose any contention with the audience. In fact, majority of what he proposed were valid concerns about the current state of the Pokemon hobby. However, his next opinion got the attention of the Pokemon investors.
It almost feels like there is this sort of new outlook on modern Pokemon cards as this huge investment vehicle. And and I'm not blaming any single person or any single group of, people that are jumping into Pokemon, but I will say the investing side of this, there's no one way to slice this or to say this, but the investing side of this is really, really blowing this whole thing up with people buying the boxes, the sealed product. It almost feels like, to me, like these are new cryptocurrencies that are being released, like booster boxes are like new forms of crypto that drop and people are just buying them up. And it's almost like a box that's under $200 is like this great value or this great investment vehicle for people right now. And I don't want to see this turn into this huge sort of just buy, invest, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I know we talk about the money, we talk about value of cards, we talk about if it's worth opening booster boxes or not, because I think that's important. If you look at this as the newest crypto drop, right? Or whatever, it's almost like everybody's just buying them up and holding on to them, and the price just keeps going up. And I know I keep comparing it to crypto or something, but that's just kind of the first thing that comes to mind when I think of this. And it's almost like, oh, the new set's here. Everybody that can get this for MSRP, it's gone instantly. Pokemon Center, I'm sure once pre-orders drop anywhere, Target, Walmart, Best Buy, GameStop, those are gone. Those are gone instantly.
Now, many thought his statement was a jab at Pokemon card investors and found it hypocritical, given he also has a massive amount of Pokemon product and participates in Pokemon investing as well. This is a complete valid concern, and I'm not surprised why people took it that way, considering he did mention Pokemon investors quite a bit in his video. So I'm totally not shocked that people took it a little bit of the wrong way and kind of overblown it out of proportion. I understand where they're coming from, but in my perspective at least, if it's worth anything, I didn't really took that video that way. And I'll get to why I think so in a bit. But regardless of how I think, people were visibly angry about what was said and his hypocrisy, including Alex from Nomics, who made a short after seeing PokeRev's video.
So it's become very popular in this hobby to take this moral high ground stand and call out investors for being the problem for everything going wrong in this hobby. PokeRev is the latest creator to do so, and all I have to say to him is, before casting stones at others, maybe you should show your followers exactly how much modern sealed product you sit on. Open up your storage units and let them know exactly how much you have and how long you've been doing this. You and Cool Trainer Ryan, you guys were investing in this stuff before everyone else was. You've been doing it for years and years, and now that other people have caught on and they're doing the same thing, somehow it's wrong? Explain this to me.
First off, I believe Alex here and the people who felt targeted at, PokeRev's statements are allowed to feel that way. I think it is completely reasonable for them to feel some sort of contention because at the end of the day, they are allowed to. It doesn't matter how you feel, doesn't matter if it's warranted or not, people are allowed to feel that way. However, I feel just for the integrity of the conversation, there should be concise transparency on what was said. First off, nowhere in the whole entire video, and I watched it multiple times, did Rev ever suggest that Pokemon investors are the sole reason for the current Pokemon boom and the current environment. In fact, he mentions it multiple times in his video and even acknowledges that he himself has a role to play in all of this.
I don't think there's one specific person or one specific thing you can point your finger at and say, oh, that's why. But everything has a part of it. Everything has a part of this. Whether you're a collector, whether you play the game, whether you're buying and selling, whether you're investing, whether you're a content creator. Even myself as content, I know opening up products like that it affects the market. Like as much as, and you know what I mean? Like, and it's not intentful, it's not on purpose or anything. It's just I create content. This is what I do, and I have fun with it. And Prismatic was super hyped. I was very excited to open Prismatic, and I really thought in my head like this was just a temporary thing with the huge prices. I thought it was just something like that was gonna blow over in a week, and every day that's gone by, I'm looking at it, and it's just like, and I'm thinking in my head like, I really hope that this starts to level out soon, because this is having this as the future of Pokemon cards with $300, $400, $500 plus booster boxes out the gate. It'll destroy the hobby.
So when having a conversation that has a lot of diverse beliefs and very strong opinions, I believe it is in everyone's best interest to understand what was said, so there is the ability to have a conversation about it and to avoid confusion. So in Alex's case, no shade to him, but he was slightly misinterpreting what PokeRev visibly said in his video. Now, with that being said, the allegation of Rev being a hypocrite for feeling distasteful in the current investing space is lacking a little bit of nuance, in my opinion. And this kind of goes into how I view the situation as. And I think, some people, again, in my opinion, don't want to get canceled, are feeling a little bit tunnel visioned into believing two thoughts cannot coexist at the same time. I think it is perfectly reasonable to criticize something while also being a part of it. In my eyes, at least, and I'm open to interpretations of this, but Rev was mainly finding the current investing culture distasteful. And I feel even if you are a Pokemon investor, you could also allowed to think that way. It's the same way if I bought some Bitcoin and I also said that, hey, the culture of Bitcoin is kind of whack. It's kind of cringe, to be honest. Two thoughts can coexist at the same time. In fact, I don't think that is hypocritical. I think that is just open and honest. I feel like people have grown too accustomed to making sure you have one solid opinion, and therefore you cannot have any others that indirectly reject that opinion. I bought Prismatic Evolutions for MSRP, and I intend to hold it on for a while and maybe sell it after, a couple of years or something for a profit. So in a sense, I am investing, correct? I want to make that clear. I'm investing, right? So does that mean from this point onward, I cannot criticize anything about the investing community? I cannot point out how there's visibly changes in the culture? Why is that? Am I bound to shackles like a prisoner? And the statement that Rev brought forward is true. Investing did play a part in contributing to the boom we have right now. Now, do I think it's massive? I can't say massive without thinking about the low taper fade meme. It's freaking Christ, dude. Do I think it's the sole reason? Absolutely freaking not. And if you think that, I'll be honest, you're a little bit retarded. But they do have a role to play. In the same way, Rev has a role to play for making content and being the most subscribed Pokemon TCG channel. Everything plays a role. In the last few years, tons of new channels have popped up talking about investing in Pokemon, inspiring new people to do the same as well. The investing culture has immensely changed over the years. albeit for the positive or negative. So is Pokemon investing bad? Should you not be allowed to do it? Are you scum of the earth for dare making any money for doing this? No. You should be allowed to do whatever the hell you want. Because at the end of the day, it is your money. It's your money. If you want to invest in Pokemon, you are not the devil. You're not single-handedly just ruining this hobby as many suggest it is, because Pokemon investing has been here since the very inception of Pokemon. Now, with that being said, PokeRev did make a response with a comment on a Nostalgia Nomics video. I was mainly referring to the culture of scalping, buying out new releases and instantly flipping for 3-4 times market. I did not say it's not just one type of buyer, and I definitely said that content creators like myself have added to the shortage. Everyone has a part, in my opinion, and I'm not going to target any one particular group. Investing into Pokemon cards is a huge part of this too, and everybody knows I've held boxes and cards over the years. The main point is demand is way higher than supply right now. It's critically off the mark, and I just want to put my voice out there and get the conversation started, what the fuck is that? To hopefully make it even more known to Pokemon to up their printing capacity. This would help average collectors and players get the cards they need from the most modern sets at a reasonable price. But bro, I am not blaming just people who hold the product. It's everyone. The demand from every sector in this hobby is massive. You know what else is massive? If you want to talk more, I'm happy to continue the conversation. So bottom line, throughout the whole entire drama, everything contributed to the situation we have right now. The best thing we could do currently, if you have an issue with it, is take a step back, make our concerns known, so Pokemon can take action, and also encouraging others to not be dumb enough to pay scalper prices before a set even released yet. That's the problem. That's a huge problem. I just find this game of everyone pointing fingers at each other, including the people who say they're not pointing fingers at each other, a bit silly. The investing space, PokeRev, they aren't doing anything different from what they did a few years ago. So why all of a sudden are they to blame right now? Why is it that when no one wanted Pokemon cards, investors and people like PokeRev weren't to blame? Because in my opinion, I don't think they changed that substantially. It was the very hobby around them. There is an astounding amount of new people coming to this hobby who are thirsty for cards, who don't mind paying scalper prices. And once a scalper see an influx of demand and are seeing people who are willing to pay the stupid prices, it will just continue to get out of hand. And the average Joe ends up getting priced out. That's why you see a lot of people moving away from the hobby. But here's the thing, and I'll say this frickin' again. Things do not last forever. This market is not going to last forever. You will have chances to buy Pokemon cards in the future once again. It's not going to be the end of the world. And the whole thing that investors are to blame and they suddenly are ruining the hobby even though they've existed since the very dawn of Pokemon is dumb as well, by the way. Who cares what people doing with their money? I don't think they're the devil and should absolutely have the right to do whatever the hell they want. Obviously, there's a difference between investor, scalper, and flipper. And right now, all those terms are becoming synonymous together. That's why I believe people should just get educated a little bit before pointing fingers. That's all I'm trying to say. All the people in this space have to stop caring. Genuinely take a step back. And I guarantee you that when you do come back, things are going to get better. And we're going to welcome you with open arms. We can all coexist at the same time. That doesn't mean including shady people. That doesn't mean including people who visibly harm the hobby. But I guarantee you, to the average person that is watching all this happen is feeling very discouraged, things will die down. It doesn't matter who started the boom. We are in it, and there's nothing we can do to change it all. We need to adapt and create a solution that best fits our own interests. Again, I can't stress how important my words are. Just stop caring. You'll be better off. Stop taking it all too seriously, man. It's gonna be fine. If it's a dumpster fire, I say watch it all burn down with a smile. Before I leave off, I'm just gonna say, Alex, I have nothing against you, dude. PokeRev, I have nothing against PokeRev. I have nothing against any of the people who disagree with me in the comments down below. Just remember, things do get better, okay? And in the grand scheme of things, we're all taking this goddamn too fucking seriously. That's it. I'll see you later, weebs.
せーのでもそんなんじゃダメもうそんなんじゃほら心は進化